plan. The name of our company and business is Campus. For our company description, Campus is an e-commerce platform exclusive to university student sellers. It facilitates the buying and selling transactions of university students online. Campus helps to narrow down the competition and create an exclusive platform for young sellers to give them a chance at the spotlight while they are still starting their business. The platform encourages students at different colleges to be entrepreneurs at their young age, explore their creativity, and be more business-minded. At Campus, unlike any other e-commerce platforms, it is student and youth-centered. Therefore, the platform will only allow bona fide college students to sell their products to the public online. For the industry, the industry we belong to is the e-commerce industry. E-commerce has become one of the most popular methods of making money online and an attractive opportunity for investors. E-commerce and online shopping are often used interchangeably, but at its core, e-commerce is much broader than this because it embodies a concept for doing business online, incorporating a multitude of different services such as making online payments, booking flights, and etc. While much of the retail sector in Southeast Asia was hit hard due to lockdowns and other restrictions in the early months of the COVID-19 pandemic, e-commerce continues to grow at speed, with consumers and merchants alike increasingly turning to online platforms. For the type of organization, Campus is a service type of organization with the aim of giving a platform to starting college entrepreneurs to sell their products and services online without getting lost in a vast sea of competitors. For the strategic advantage, more and more online sellers are looking for online platforms where they can advertise and put up their online business. A narrowed down competition is just what these starting entrepreneurs need. The platform also aims to provide a safe space for these young entrepreneurs where they can offer their services with a guarantee of being paid in the end. So for the legal structure, Campus is a partnership built among colleagues. So Campus, owned and operated by Mr. Kyril Stephen Alduculan, Ms. Daniel May Marundan, Ms. Queenie Ann Ordaz, Ms. Kyla Pareja, and Ms. Kyle Crystal Rebancos, is an e-commerce firm. That being the case, Campus will be considered a general partnership and will therefore have a formal arrangement in which partners agree to share in all the company's properties, revenue, and financial and legal liabilities. As for the location and geographic reach, since the business is an e-commerce platform, it is available online, but there will be an office headquarters location. It will be located in Ocean Drive Mall of Asia complex in Pasay City. The company will get a lease contract for one of the floors in the said complex. The complex will house the different departments and provide rooms for each. Since the company is starting small and it is an online business, there won't be many employees and there is no need for a large space. The business aims to cater to college students as sellers from universities enrolled in the University Belt in Manila. After a few years of expansion, the business will also start to accept sellers from universities around the Philippines. And for the ownership, so here are the general partners, and all partners will contribute 375,000 each, bringing the total of the starting equity to 1,875,000. The division of profits from the business will be on an equal basis based on the partners' contributions. Losses will also be divided equally, if any.
Moving forward, here are the mission, vision, and culture of Campus. For the mission statement, Campus is committed to provide quality and cost-effective services that are believed to be the prospect of the country and that will boost the growth of the students' businesses. Working its way to the e-commerce industry, Campus aims to expand and cater to all students of NCR and guarantee quality service with the help of modern technologies for the satisfaction of the customers and stability of students' life. As the vision, Campus is committed to being one of the country's premier online shopping application and website that uplift the entrepreneurs of the students from different universities in Metro Manila. To that end, we aim to provide the best quality service in order to achieve maximum market share and come up with the customer's expectations. Next, we have the company culture, which is important to employees because workers are more likely to enjoy work when their needs and values are consistent with their employers. It is also important to employers because workers who fit in with the company culture are likely not only to be happier but more productive as well. As a starting company, Campus recognizes how much of an impact each new addition has on our culture, and they encourage everyone to give input and lead new culture, diversity, and inclusion initiatives. At Campus, we value connectivity. Campus helps to connect our millions of buyers and sellers across our platform. Next is collaboration, that all employees work together in a shared open concept space that encourages cross-department discussions and collaboration. Lastly, community, to bring employees together with a fresh, fun, and vibrant environment where employees can be comfortable and feel at home. To ensure our culture grows with the company, we look for candidates that radiate passion, have a hunger for learning, and above everything else, have a shared vision for the company's service and goals. At campus, equity and diversity are our key to innovation. Our customers are our passion, and to serve them best, we aim to build a team that encourages creative thinking and represents their customer base. The company also aims to build an inclusive environment to ensure everyone feels comfortable and welcome no matter what their background or experiences. We are also result-oriented, for our team offers leadership classes and mentorship opportunities to ensure new hires are matched with colleagues who are interested in mentoring and have a training needed to build a successful mentor-mentee relationship. For our social responsibility commitment, we at campus value the right to protection and fulfillment of the Filipino out-of-school children and youth. The rate of out-of-school children and youth in the Philippines is growing, especially in this time of pandemic. With that, we believe that just like other children, they should also be given a chance to maximize their potentials and secure their future through our programs. For them to achieve holistic growth, we will organize programs related to education and help them. Let's now move on to the opportunity analysis and research. This section of the business plan focuses on the methods used by the partners to identify opportunity that resulted in the business idea. The group used online survey to gather data. An online survey is a set of structured questions that the respondent completes over the internet, generally through filling out a form. The survey included the participants' demographics and their perception of the platform. There were a total of 74 students who responded to the survey. The partners made sure that all the respondents were college students who study in the University Belt in Manila, being our target market. The following are the results of the survey. Under demographics, 59.5% are female, while 39.2% are male. As for the age of the respondents, it ranges from 19 to 23 years old, which is the usual age bracket for college students. From this range, the majority of the respondents were 21 years old. For the relevance of the platform, 97.2% of the respondents think that the platform is relevant, which means that there's a demand for it. As to the timeliness of the platform, 91.7% responded that the platform is timely. As to the platform being realistic, 93.1% of the respondents said that the platform is realistic. As to innovation, 93.1% responded that the platform is innovative. For the description of the target market, the main users of the platform will be the student entrepreneurs who want to start a business of their own. They have to be a college student to be allowed to sell using campus. This platform is created so that the young entrepreneurs will have a place to put up their business without having to compete with the big brands. In this platform, they can grow with their business so that when they graduate, they already have a business they can run. As for the buyers, everyone is welcome to use the app for their purchase. As to demand, generally it depends on the traffic on the app to figure out the total number of users. However, we will provide an estimate from the data that are publicly available. The total possible demand for the service will be around 3.5 million. This estimate is based on the number of college enrollees in the year 2020 according to the CHED. As for the buyers, the total demand is inconclusive because it will depend on the reach of the platform. The products that the students may sell will vary and involve a wide range because they can sell anything as long as they are legal. Thus, the total demand for the app from the buyers will not be measurable. According to the year-end report on Southeast Asia's map of e-commerce, Lazada and Shopee were the most visited sites in the Philippines last 2019. Lazada holds a market share of 59%, followed by Shopee with 33%. Lazada and Shopee both offer a wide range of consumer goods for the internet shopper. The success of e-commerce retailers such as Lazada and Shopee last 2019 is a key indicator for brands wishing to place their products best to reach the target customers. Considering the target market around 3.5 million, a penetration rate of e-commerce at 21.3%, and a total of around 50 million online Filipino shoppers, the market share for Campus may start at 1.5%. This is computed by using the derived formula since the company's revenue will depend on how much traffic the app gets. For the industry analysis, the e-commerce market has changed the way business is transacted, whether in retail or business to business, locally or globally. The internet today is a global marketplace affording even the smallest retailer a national or a global presence. The global e-commerce market size was valued at approximately $9.1 trillion in 2019 and is expected to grow at an annual compound growth rate of 14.7% from 2020 to 2027. Increasing penetration of the internet is bolstering the smartphone using population across the world. Hence, technological awareness among customers is expected to have a positive impact on the market growth. Established organizations and large enterprises are leaning towards online businesses due to lesser expenditure in communication and infrastructure. E-commerce offers the organization an easier reach for customers, and hence, necessary exposure to business is also achieved. E-commerce is also driven owing to the increasing importance of online marketing tools. Nowadays, the marketing options are in abundance due to popularity of social media applications, which in turn helps in driving the market for e-commerce towards growth trajectories. Furthermore, due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, customers' inclination towards online shopping is rising. Let's now go on with the e-commerce in the Philippines. With more than 73 million Filipinos that are registered internet users and 99% of them are active on different social media platforms, Filipinos are known for having the highest internet penetration and being the most active on social media. Despite that, Filipinos have not been quick adopters to e-commerce. Prior to the pandemic, statistics shows that only 2% of the Filipino netizens have purchased goods or services online. However, home confinement due to pandemic left Filipinos no choice but to purchase food and other essentials on the internet. This triggered an explosion of e-commerce transactions. Suddenly, thousands of entrepreneurs established their own e-commerce stores selling anything from face masks to foods. Also, studies shows an inverse correlation between mobility and e-commerce. The lower the mobility, the higher online transactions become. Last April 2020, mobility was down by 90%, and this resulted in a sharp spike in online transactions. As of July 5, mobility was still down by 57% compared to pre-COVID levels. As many as 91% of the Filipino internet users searched for goods and services to purchase during the quarantine period. Of all those who searched, 76% consummated the transaction. This is a clear indication that Filipinos are finally warming up to e-commerce. From a sales turnover of $500 million in 2015, e-commerce in the Philippines is seen to top 12 billion by the year 2025. Another survey conducted by the Global Web shows that
For the environmental analysis,
shopping after the pandemic is over. Aside from the best sellers like fashion apparel, sporting goods, and footwear during pre-COVID era, a new category has emerged in the post-COVID era. Nowadays, essentials that include personal protective equipment, sanitary goods, and groceries have emerged as the brisk sellers.
so here is the SWOT analysis of campus. For the strengths, we have exclusivity, an excellent communication platform, and a feedback system. For the weaknesses, we have inability to touch products and selective in sellers. For the opportunities, expansion of operations and rise in online transactions. And for the threats, strong competition, low barriers to entry, identity theft and hacking, and account takeover. Next, for the competitive analysis, so we have here the definition and description of direct and indirect competition. For the direct competition, this refers to a company that offers the same product or services as us and also typically attracts the same target audience. For the indirect competition, this refers to a business whose products or services are different from us but potentially could satisfy the same need and reach the same goal. So for the competitive advantage, Campus offers features that lets entrepreneurs sell their products or services in a market with less competitors. Campus is a platform that will also be a safe place for young entrepreneurs. It has a fresh user interface that is friendly to first-time business owners. Its navigation is made easy and features are easily accessed. What sets Campus apart from other platforms is its exclusivity and the high-quality service it offers. So for the direct competitors, Campus will have two major competitors in the Philippines, namely Lazada and Shopee. These two are the biggest e-commerce platforms in the country and holds a major part of the market share in the online shopping industry. They became more prominent in the country's economy because of the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, as the population relied more on online transactions due to the lockdown measures. So here is a detailed competitive analysis between Campus, Shopee, and Lazada. So for the user interface, in terms of the application's user interface, Shopee and Lazada has some similarities. So as Lazada has a more professional and better overall look than Shopee, Campus will have a fresher and user-friendly interface since the application's target market are students to help them get used to it easily. So according to a lot of shoppers, many have shown frustration towards Shopee because of the lack of professionalism. Lazada, on the other hand, is user-friendly in terms of intermediate sellers. Next, we have the application users. So in terms of users, as Shopee and Lazada caters to all, Campus will only allow college students as sellers. This is the main feature of Campus, exclusivity. It narrows down the competition for students who want to start their own business. The platform gives the young entrepreneurs their own stage to help them showcase their products and reduce the number of sellers that will steal their spotlight. There are, after all, way too many sellers in applications like Shopee and Lazada, and it is difficult to penetrate such market, especially for sellers who start small. In terms of the product authenticity, both Lazada and Shopee does not have much control because it is up to the seller and buyer to practice due diligence when checking out a product. That is why there are product description and reviews. Campus will emphasize such features so that the buyers are informed easily of what they are going to add to their cart and they won't experience getting scammed. Ratings and reviews will also be asked from both buyers and sellers. So for the transaction fee, Shopee charges 2% plus VAT of the buyer's total amount after applying any discount, vouchers, and shipping fee. Lazada, however, charges up to 2.24%, VAT inclusive, computed from the item price minus promotional charges plus shipping fee. Lazmall, a feature in Lazada, charges up to 5% for every product sold. Campus will charge 2.5% from the sellers since the application is more exclusive. So for the overall aspects, in all other aspects, Lazada and Shopee offers almost the same features, including payment methods, rewards like Lazada Rewards and Shopee Coins, e-wallets such as Lazada Wallet and Shopee Pay, and a very detailed tracking. So Campus will also offer the same features to keep up with the said platforms. For the indirect competitors, so from its definition, Campus indirect competitors are malls, physical stores, and groceries. What these competitors lack is convenience. Purchasing from these establishments may achieve the same goal and satisfy the needs of the consumers, but it is not convenient. Unlike Campus, which is just one click away when purchasing a product or a service, you will have to take a trip to the establishment, look for the product you need, and queue to pay.
I will be presenting to you Campus marketing strategy and plan. How to target the market segment. The most effective way to ensure that the sales forecasts are achieved is through mass promotion of the platform. By using the promotional measures to be stated in the following sections, the platform will gain recognition. The company must then build a relationship with the users of the platform in order to foster customer loyalty, interaction, and long-term engagement. The company should operate towards the development of strong connections with customers by providing them with information directly suited to their needs and interests and by promoting open communication. Campus will also make sure that the sellers' and buyers' rights are protected in every transaction. The business will abide by all the laws that are relevant in the course of business so as to avoid any disputes and claims that may harm the reputation of the business and the users. So this is Campus' positioning statement. Campus will be a platform for college students to start their businesses and attract more customers without getting lost in a vast sea of online sellers. Competition will be narrowed in the platform because the sellers will only be college students. It will also serve as a platform for them to offer their services with a guarantee of getting paid in the end. So the plan for organizational growth. Once the operations become successful in catering the college students enrolled in the University Belt in Manila, Campus aims to cater all aspiring college entrepreneurs in the Philippines. This will create more product diversity and push the students to create more products that are unique. So what is Campus? Campus is an e-commerce platform exclusive for university students. It facilitates the buying and selling transactions of university students online. Campus helps to narrow down the competition and create an exclusive platform for young sellers to give them a chance at the spotlight while they are still starting their business. The following are the features of Campus. The platform's interface will be user-friendly so that first-time users can easily navigate through the app or website. The platform will also require a registration from the young sellers and validation that they are indeed college students. They can also choose to display in their profile what college or university they are from or not. The students will post photos of their products and must include full details. The platform will also include a chat feature so that the sellers and buyers can interact regarding the product. Payments can be through online banking, over the counter, or cash on delivery. In the breakdown of fees, the fees will include the selling price, transaction fee, shipping fee, and tax if applicable. And for the shipping program, the platform will indicate what couriers are available and the buyers can choose one. And last, for the feedback system, since the platform is for selling products, there should also be a rating system so that both sellers and buyers will know the feedback on the products and the transaction. In addition to the feature of sellers being able to sell their own products and other tangible items, the website and the application will also have a services section. This section will allow students to offer their services to possible clients with a guarantee that these possible clients of theirs are legitimate clients that will surely pay them after they have rendered their services. If the app starts to increase traffic and gain popularity and reputation, the company will accept advertisement offers to have another source of revenue. The more traffic the app gets, the higher the revenue from the ads. So, for pricing, the company aims to utilize the following price strategies. In competitive pricing, your job is to research the pricing strategies of many competitors to establish a pricing range. Tiered pricing is a method where sellers segment the pricing of their products or services to suit their various target markets. And last, psychology pricing. It refers to techniques that marketers use to encourage customers to respond on emotional levels rather than logical ones. Since the company will provide a platform for sellers to sell their products, the main source of revenue for the business is the transaction fee. The transaction fee will be at 2.5% plus VAT of the buyer's total amount after deduction of any promotional charges, if any, plus the shipping fee. It is the most reasonable transaction fee that the company will charge because it includes the exclusivity and it is at a level that the seller will still gain high profit on their sales. The services section of the website and application have a service plan provided by the business. This service plan will serve as their payment to the business for giving them a safe space to advertise and get their clients from. Aside from that, Campus will also have a 2.5% plus VAT, the buyer's total amount after deduction of any promotional charges in every service transaction. The pricing for the advertisement will vary, but the starting price will be 15,000 pesos. Additional charges will be incurred to the customer depending on how many seconds or minutes their advertisement would be, or if there are other specifications. During the start of the operations, the company forecasts that the business will operate at a loss. As it grows, eventually, the company will reach its break-even point and then gain actual profit. Presented here will be the revenue from the start of operations 2025 to 2027. The company may go through loss in its first year since it may not get as much as users as it could get, but when the application becomes more widely known, since knowledge about it will only increase further, then eventually the company will gain income. Discount promotion will also be used to attract buyers and drive orders for the seller's product and services. Sellers are able to easily create their own shop discounts straight from the Campus app. Buyers will see the discount ribbon for products with discount promotions. So the sellers have the full flexibility to choose the promotion period, discount value, and the products that the promotion can apply to. So for the payment policy, online banking is the easiest way to pay for goods online. With this option, the customer would need to enter his or her banking information. And then the third-party payment processor, DragonPay, would use the bank information of the customers and direct them to a third-party site to confirm the transfer of payment. On the other hand, cash on delivery is one of the prominent payment methods for online shopping in the Philippines. Customers prefer to receive and see the product before paying for it, and COD payment has made it possible. COD gives the customer a sense of security. For promotion, the business promotional materials will contain the logo illustrated below. A logo is important to the business because it communicates ownership, quality, and values. And since it is an app logo, it should be less detailed and has bigger elements for it to be more identifiable for mobile phone users. The main product or service of the company is an online shopping application or website. So therefore, the shopping cart shows the feature of the application, which is add to cart. And to put it simply, the cart represents shopping. The name of the app is also on the logo, and it is written in bold and in a font that is suitable for students. It is student-friendly enough so that it catches the students' eyes and encourages them to use the application. The buffering icon, these are the dots growing in size in a round form. This represents that the service of the company offers is available online. The red, white, and black is the color combination used for the logo. These colors were originally chosen in honor of the Red Warrior logo of the university. Eventually, they were chosen because red is very vibrant in color. It can easily catch the attention of anyone who sees the logo. White, on the other hand, makes the logo look clean. Since it is important that the logo is simple enough, the white is paired with red. Lastly, black is matched with red and white to emphasize the application name. The company's slogan is Help Build the Future. This is aligned with the company's beliefs that young, starting entrepreneurs, who are the main customers of the business, are the future of the business world. The company will also utilize the following promotional plans and strategies to promote the business. Word of mouth. It is a free form of advertisement. Students communicate almost on a daily basis, and by word of mouth, students can refer our service to other students and therefore increase our target market. Social media engagements. Majority of the time, students spend their time using social media apps. Through social media engagements, we can directly interact with the consumers and advertise the service. Online advertisements. We will be posting boosted advertisements on different social media platforms. Online advertising is one of the most effective ways for businesses of all sizes to expand their reach, find new customers, and diversify their revenue streams. Pay-per-click is one of the most common and effective types of online advertising. And last, partnership with universities. Campus will put up posters in different campuses of universities in partnership with the company. And since students are the main target market as sellers, campus posters on bulletin boards and school newspaper ads are direct ways to reach out to students who are interested in starting their businesses. Certain representation fees will be paid in exchange of such advertising method. Well, since Campus is a starting company, the business will have to invest a lot on promoting the app or website because the revenue will heavily rely on the quantity of users. Thus, it is necessary to get the word out there quickly regarding Campus. The company decides to allot 7% of the total revenue for the year towards marketing. Presented here is the breakdown of the marketing budget, which has a total of 210,000. So for the place, since the business is an e-commerce platform, it is available online, but there will be an office headquarters location. It will be located in Ocean Drive Mall of Asia complex in Pasay City. The company will get a lease contract for one of the floors in the said complex. The complex will house the different departments and provide rooms for each. Since the company is starting small and it is an online business, there won't be many employees and there is no need for a large space.
For our organization and management plan, this will concentrate on the business firm, organizational structure, pre-operating activities and expenses, office equipment, and the administrative expenses of campus. Campus objectives, where in the span of 5 years, it will have a larger and wider headquarters for easily and faster development of the application and website, achieve maximum customer satisfaction and customers' loyalty, expand the partnership with other universities outside Metro Manila for better and bigger return that would increase to 10% to 20% per year, improve the capacity of the people to sustain their livelihood through increased income and employment opportunities. And lastly, campus will also expand its partnership with other couriers or logistics companies. Like what Ms. Pareja said earlier, campus is an e-commerce firm owned and operated by Mr. Kyril Dupulan, Ms. Daniel Marundan, Ms. Queenie Ordas, Ms. Kyla Pareja, and Ms. Kyle Rebancos, where these partners began the venture by combining their own e-commerce company expertise and experiences. That is why it is considered as general partnership, where there will be a formal arrangement in which partners agree to share in all the company's properties, revenues, and legal liabilities. So here is the organizational structure of campus, where Ms. Rebancos is the general manager, Mr. Dupulan, the head of operations, Ms. Marundan, the marketing head, Ms. Queenie Ordas, the human resource head, and the head of finance is Ms. Pareja. As per department, there will be 3 employees each. Pre-operating activities are activities done before the business will start its operations. Therefore, here are the pre-operating activities of campus. They will create your application and website, apply for business permits, purchase the necessary equipment, partner with logistic companies or couriers, hire employees or staffs, partnering with universities, conduct surveys and interview to the student entrepreneurs, and lastly, do a dry run of operations or the soft opening. The amount of money spent by a company prior to providing services to the general public is no exception. So, included in the pre-operating expenses are costs incurred during conducting such pre-operating activities that was mentioned a while ago. Costs for applying permits and licenses and fees like sanitary fee and electrical fee are just some of the pre-operating expenses of campus that sum up to 204,790. Also, the salaries and wages of employees and staffs of the department, where each of them will have a monthly net pay of 16,820. Office equipment are items purchased by an organization to help in the completion of office-related activities or jobs. All fixed assets have estimated useful life of 10 years, and those assets that are already provided by the lessor are to be leased. However, those assets that are miscellaneous and not provided in the contract are bought by the partners to be used in the headquarters and administrative office by the staffs and employees. Fixed assets that can be seen in headquarters are categorized into furnitures and fixtures, such as conference table and multiple purpose chair that totals to 269,100. Miscellaneous like decorations totals to 23,000. Appliances such as television and coffee maker that totals to 83,400. And assets that can be found in administrative office like computer and printer totals to 627,500. All in all, the amount of office equipment is 1,003,000. Administrative expenses are those incurred by a company that are not specifically related to a particular purpose. These costs are incurred by the company as a whole rather than by individual departments or business divisions. Included here are the office supplies, which is categorized into paper, writing tools, grouping tools, and inks. The totals to 20,832. The monthly administrative expense for the subscriptions of cloud, Adobe Creative Cloud, Firewall and Microsoft Office, and of course for the website maintenance, the totals to 9,534. And the monthly compensation of the partners, where the general manager and the heads would have a monthly net pay of 34,464 and 22,887 respectively.
The campus platform would be designed and polished by the partners, but will professionally be coded by a third-party contractor. It will follow the IAS 38 process of developing a website, which is first planning. That includes undertaking feasibility studies, research and development, and such. Second, application and infrastructure development, which includes the domain name, developing the hardware and operating software, installation, and testing. The third is the graphic design stage. This involves everything that is seen in the app and the website, the flow and the appearance of the platform. And as for the last stage, concept development, this includes creating, purchasing, and preparing, as well as uploading information, both text and graphics in nature, on the website and the app in order to create a database. The customer interface. The customers can download the Campus app through their phone via Play Store or App Store, or browse through the Campus website. Then inside the platform, they will be greeted by the homepage of the app, which will preview the products that the chosen sellers offer. Products can be filtered through price ranges, categories, ratings, and university. Once the customer has chosen its desired items, they can proceed to their cart and enter their details for delivery and payment. The Campus has 3 different layouts for convenience. The first one will be seen on the figure, which is the laptop. It's a website in desktop view, website in a phone view, which is you can also browse through your phone. So there's a website and phone view, and number 3, application view. All of the different layouts are synced by creating an account in Campus. So you can create an account in your laptop and have your information be synced on your phone, tablets, etc. To have the sense of feel of what the app would look like and how it would work, come join us in a short Campus tour. So how do we do it? First, once the customer has checked out, the Campus shall notify the sellers of the customer's order, and they will be scheduled by our partner couriers as to when the riders can pick up the product from the seller, or when the seller can bring the product to the nearest partner courier branch. After which, the courier can proceed to pack the product if necessary and deliver the package to the customers. The payment of the product can happen prior to delivery via online payment and online banking, credit or debit cards, or right on the receipt of the package through cash on delivery. The following mode of payment applies to all the customers. First is via DragonPay or online banking. The following cards can be used: Visa or MasterCard. And lastly, cash on delivery, of course. Cash on delivery is one of the prominent payment methods for online shopping in the Philippines. When the customer receives the package, like any other e-commerce app, they can then confirm through the app that they have received the package, and from there the Campus will take charge of any customer service affairs and issues. The Campus will be in charge of the pre-order and post-order care that will be taking care of the customer service employees of Campus. Here are the potential courier partners. Campus business model is primarily drop shipping. The company does not handle its own delivery nor its inventory. This is the reason why Campus can afford to have low commission rates and fees. The potential courier partners of Campus would be Ninja Van, GoGo Express, JRX Express, JNT Express, and LBC. Campus policies. This is our way to protect you, our company, and as well as our customers. So the first is the return and refund policy. Campus acknowledges that the reality that not all products are made and shipped equally. This is one of the risks that we are ready for. Since our main sellers are college students and startup businesses, we expect minimal errors, but that would not stop the company from giving the best post-care service to our customers through our return and refund policy. Of course, we will be installing some personal and private information, so it is important that the company has a privacy policy. A privacy policy is an integral part of any website or an app, as it explains the details about the company, views about the data obtained from the visitors, users, and establishment procedures. Since we will cater products in our platform, there must also be a product policy. Campus is a website for a wide range of products: tangible, digital, thrifted, original, self-made, and many more. And since we're opening our platform to these products, we need to protect the company, the consumers, as well as the sellers from disputes, misrepresentation, and other potential liabilities that may arise from any transaction. Of course, Campus is aware that not every student has a product to sell or resell. Not everyone has the capital to start up his or her own business, but everyone has the skill to sell. Campus recognizes the capabilities of the college students to earn money, and we want to help these people to reach their specific audiences. And that's why we have services on our platform as well, and policies to guide them. In line to the service policy is the subscription policy only for the sellers. The subscription policy is in relation to the service that would be implemented to the sellers who would want to sell their service for a specific amount. The seller has 4 choices when he or she decides to sell a service. The subscription levels are silver, gold, platinum, and diamond. Each level has its own subscription, validity, and affordable prices. The subscription levels are tailored so the sellers could cancel anytime they want and will be able to pay with convenience. The figure showing in your screen is the fixed capital that will be used in the operations portion of the company. The operations portions of the company, namely logistics and information technology department. The operating cash are based on the estimated cost of the beginning operations, while the reserved cash for contingencies are estimated based on the possible short-term liabilities that the company may incur. Each tangible asset under fixed capital would be financed with a loan that the company would incur and will be paid in an installment basis to avoid a high break-even point. The intangible assets are all owned by the company and would be financed through the contributions of the partner. These are costs, one-time payment costs, while the operating monthly expenses are recurring costs aside from the cloud subscriptions. The cloud subscriptions are acting as the server of the company, a storage of all information to avoid massive cost of actually building a servers in the headquarters and maintaining them. The cloud would be maintained and secured by the Google Cloud Services. Meanwhile, since the information is secured by a third-party provider, the local devices used within the operations are secured through antivirus and firewall. Source, maintenance, and repair. Everything about equipment. All equipment and accessories will be sourced primarily in Home Depot, All Home, Octagon, and other furniture and fixtures, tiles, and tech companies that the company think that is useful and necessary to buy in. This is for the reason of convenience, lead time, warranty, affordability, reliability of the mentioned merchants. The electronics portion of the assets will be maintained and repaired by the manufacturer where the electronics are bought through the span of their warranty, after which it will be repaired by the in-house technician and the IT department. For both non-electrical and electronics asset, the accounting department shall account for the recoverable amount of the certain equipment or accessory. Then if it is better to continue with the repair or just sell it and buy a new one. When the department chooses to repair such asset, it will be repaired by a third-party repairman and will be expensed when incurred. Maintenance of the non-electronics would rely on the people using it on a daily basis and the maintenance staff of the company. So, before we proceed to the headquarters, let me just welcome you to our second home. The layout of the floor plan considers the flow of the visitors and employees once they exit from the elevator. So as you can see in the illustration, number 4 is the elevator. On the left will be the operations portion, the post-care department, the accounting department, the logistics area, and finally the IT department. The heads' offices will also be situated in the same area. So as you can see, number 14, all of those are offices, so that it is easier to manage the working team. While on the right portion of the floor are the administrative rooms, which will include the marketing department, conference room, and other offices. The reason for this separation is because the marketing team would usually focus on creative ideas and long-term plans for the company. The marketing department, as you've seen a while ago, is also bigger than the other rooms because it is expected that the marketing department would host photo shoots and hold product and props in relation to the promotion of campus. Taking a closer look, you will notice that there are no doors again for each department, rather just a main door, a large main door for all of the 3 areas. So the information is easy flowing, the communication and socialization are well encouraged, as well as to promote transparency. As for the lounge and kitchen, it is equipped with kitchen tools and food that comes with the building where the headquarters is being rented. The campus believes that taking care of its employees would benefit both the company and the consumers. With good leadership comes good service, and with good service comes happy customers. And that is the main reason why this room is incorporated in the floor plan. Lastly, the headquarters has multiple storage within its department rooms, so the need for a separate storage room is eliminated. In addition to happy employees and spacious areas, the next priority would be the safety of all employees and visitors. And with this, there are fire exits and medicine cabinets per room and per area. That concludes the operations portion. Thank you very much.
Next, we have the financial analysis and projections of campus. So this section of the business plan focuses on the capital requirements and the financial projections of the business. The record-keeping system to be used and the bank accounts to be maintained by the business are also discussed in this section. For the record-keeping systems, the company will utilize computerized record-keeping and cloud computing for storing data. An accounting software, such as SAP Business One, will be used by the company to record the day-to-day operations and keep track of the assets, expenses, and payroll. Next, we have the bank accounts of the business. So an integral part of the success of a business is having the right type of bank accounts in place. The following accounts shall be opened and maintained by the business. First, we have a business checking account. So these are for the daily transactions or working accounts or for businesses for which checkbooks are available. So these accounts are not geared for earning interest because of the continuous movement of funds in and out. Next, we have the call accounts. So similar to term deposits, these accounts may require a minimum deposit and a minimum balance maintained to earn interest, but with more flexibility for withdrawing funds when required. Next, we have the business savings account. So the funds which are not meant to be used for everyday transactions, but with no definite appropriation should be deposited here. Unlike checking accounts, this account earns interest. Next, sources and uses of capital. So the majority of the startup capital is provided to the company by the partners. Some startups may also receive startup capital from banks and other financial institutions. So to raise capital for business needs, companies primarily have 2 types of financing as an option, equity and debt financing. In this case, the business will be financed through debt and capital contribution. So the partners will all contribute $375,000 each, bringing the total of the starting equity to $1,875,000. Cash from debt financing is expected to be approximately 1,103,503 pesos, which will come from various sources. So presented here are the financing plan and loan requirements. As we can see, the debt financing of the business will be composed of short-term borrowings, issuance of notes, and bank term loans for a total of 1,103,503 pesos. For the capital contribution, so it will be from the partners who will contribute 375,000 pesos each, bringing the total starting capital of the business to 2,978,503 pesos. And here is the debt repayment schedule of the business. So the short-term borrowings is expected to be paid within a year. The notes payable and the loans payable, on the other hand, are expected to be paid within 5 years. For the debt financing, so the types of business loans in the Philippines cater to a specific purpose, be it short-term, long-term, or both. Here are the possible sources of the debt financing of the company. First is the unsecured business loan. So unsecured business loans, they don't require collateral. The business plans to use this source for the short-term borrowings of 100,000 pesos. So the following are the banks where the business can avail of an unsecured business loan. We have here the BPI Family Kanegosyo Loan. The loan amount is a minimum of 100,000. The loan term is 1 year to 3 years. The interest rate is the prevailing market interest rate, and the repayment mode is the straight amortization. Next is the Security Bank SME Business Express Loan. However, their minimum loan amount starts from 1 million up to 5 million. The loan term is 12, 18, 24, or 36 months. The interest rate has a monthly add-on rate of 1.4 to 1.85%, depending on the loan term, and the repayment mode is monthly amortization. The next possible source for debt financing is a credit line. So a credit line is a short-term loan that provides quick access to money on demand. Having said that, the business plans to use the source for the loan at an amount of 400,000. So the following are the possible sources of the credit line. First, we have the BDO SME Ready Check, which offers a loan amount of 3 to 20 million. The BPI Family Kanegosyo Loan, which offers a loan amount depending on the result of credit evaluation. Next is the Metrobank SME Credit Line, which offers a loan amount of 1 million to 20 million. And lastly, the PS Bank SME Business Credit Line, which offers a loan amount from 500,000 to 2 million pesos. The next possible source for debt financing is a term loan. So a term loan allows entrepreneurs to meet their short-term or long-term business funding needs while keeping their own funds intact. So it can be used for purchasing new equipment for administrative and operating needs, for the renovation or lease of an office space, adding fixed working capital to a business, acquiring intangible assets, and reserves for contingencies. So the following are some of the banks where the business can avail a term loan. The repayment term is also monthly or quarterly amortization. Now for the capital contribution, so personal finances and the finances of the business partners are another source of funding. So these include not only ready cash on hand in savings and checking accounts, but also less liquid finances such as stock holdings or retirement accounts. And partners can also contribute tangible assets aside from cash and even just their skills and hard work. However, the cash deposit is probably the most common type of capital contribution. This is simply money being made directly available to the company, and this can be done through a bank transfer or a cash deposit, for example. So all partners will contribute 375,000 each, bringing the total of the starting equity to 1,875,000 pesos. The division of profits from the business will be on an equal basis based on the partners' contributions. Losses will also be divided equally, if any. So here, Mr. Dukulan and Ms. Marundan will contribute 375,000 pesos each, and their source of funds would be their savings, salary, and their personal loans. Ms. Ordas, on the other hand, will also contribute 375 pesos coming from her savings, salary, and inheritance. Ms. Pareja and Mr. Bancos will also be contributing 375,000 pesos each, coming from their own savings, salary, and investments. So for the uses of capital, startup capital is what the entrepreneurs will use to pay for any or all of the required expenses involved in creating the new business. This includes paying for the initial hires, obtaining office space, permits, licenses, inventory, research and market testing, marketing, or any other expense. In many cases, more than one round of capital startup investment is needed in order to get a new business off the ground. So the funds raised from the capital contribution and debt financing will be used for the projected startup expenses and capital. The operating cash and reserves for contingencies are already included in the startup assets and other costs. So the projected startup expenses are expenses that happen before the beginning of the plan, before the first month of operations. So the projected startup expenses presented here are the expenses to be incurred in establishing the business. Now, startup assets and other costs, on the other hand, are those that are needed in order for the business to operate. As you can see, included in the presented startup assets and other costs here are the tangible assets needed, such as computers, office appliances, and the computers to be used for the operations. Also included here are the intangible assets of the business, such as the website, trademark, copyright, and the application. As for the utilities, so the payment for the deposits required by each utility company is also accounted for in here. So presented here is a summary of all the furniture and fixtures of the business to be used in the administrative office. You can also see here the summary of the office supplies to be purchased for the start of the operations. Here is the summary of the tangible assets to be purchased for the use of the logistics and the IT department. So these two departments will be handling the transactions that occurs in the application and the website. After the sources and uses of the capital, we now move on to the income statement of the company. Presented here is the pro forma income statement of the business for the years 2025, 2026, and 2027. In the first year of operations, the startup expenses previously presented were taken into account under the administrative expenses. The selling and administrative expenses were inclusive of all the other expenses incurred expected to be incurred during the course of the business. The income tax rate to be used is only 20% for the years of operations in compliance with the CREATE law, as opposed to the usual 30% tax rate that companies are currently using. So the company expects a loss in the operations in the first year because of the pre-operating expenses to be incurred. However, for the succeeding years, it is expected that the business will already realize a net income from the operations, even after interest, charges, and taxes. After the income statement, here is the balance sheet projections for the first 3 years of the operations. So the total assets for the first year of operations is expected to be 2,784,009 pesos. For 2026, it would be 3,167,349 pesos. And for 2027, 4,166,157. These figures already consider the possible accounts receivables of the business. The liabilities and owner's equity will also have the same balances. So included in here are the liabilities of the business coming from the debt financing, and also the possible accounts payables that may arise during the normal course of the business.
After the balance sheet, here are the cash flow projections for the first 3 years of operations. Presented is the pro forma cash flow statements for years 2025, 2026, and 2027. Under the operating activities, the non-cash expenses such as depreciation and amortization are added back to the net income since they do not involve payment of cash. Changes in the current operating assets and liabilities are added to or subtracted from the net income before interest and taxes, depending on their effect on cash, to arrive at the net cash provided or used by the operating activities. For the first year, the operating activities used 297,687 pesos. As for the second and third year, operating activities provided 733,474 pesos and 1,148,366 pesos respectively. Under the investing activities, the business will incur a total of 1,787,705 pesos in purchasing the necessary equipment and intangible assets for year 2025. As for the next 2 years, there will be no additional purchase of the long-term assets. Under the financing activities, the business will receive cash from the capital contribution of the partners and loans payable, but it will be offset by paying a portion of its loans payable, resulting in a net of 2,213,295 pesos in year 2025. As for the next 2 years, the business will have a cash outlay of 759,494 pesos and 865,754 respectively to pay its long-term debts. Let's now move on to the break-even analysis of Campus. The information shown is based on the data provided by the income statement in year 2025. We can see that the projected transactions of 183,870 in year 2025, the business will incur a loss of 562,721 pesos. Using the mathematical equation, the business must have a total of 220,174 transactions per year to break even. The allocation of the transactions will be as follows: 144 transactions coming from the advertisements, 215,540 transactions from commission from products, and 4,490 transactions from the subscription of the services. Presented is the graphical representation of the break-even point. You can see that having at least 220,174 transactions per year will yield a total sales of 3,592,388 pesos, which will equalize the total cost of the business per year. Moving on, here are the ratio analysis for the first 3 years of operations. As to the liquidity ratios, we can see an increasing trend, which means that the ability of the business to pay its current liabilities is improving over time. As to the asset management ratios, we can also see an increasing trend. This is favorable to the business since the business manages its assets more efficiently over time. For solvency ratios, we can see that the debt ratio and debt to equity ratio over the 3-year period is decreasing. It is favorable to the business since it means that the business can pay its long-term liabilities over time and does not heavily rely on its creditors. For the profitability ratios, the results for the first year are generally unfavorable since the business is at loss due to the required expenses in starting up the business. However, for the next 2 years, the business will realize an income that is enough to offset the loss incurred in the first year. There will be also a higher return on investment to its contributors due to the increasing projected income for the next 2 years. We also have here the different risks and assumptions of Campus on its operation. Our first area of concern is the interest rates. The assumption is that interest on both short-term and long-term debts is increasing over time. The significance is that a higher interest rate means that the business will incur higher finance costs and eventually yield a lower net income. Next, we have inflation. The assumption is that inflation rates are ranging from 2 to 4%. Its significance is that although the country has somewhat managed the inflation rate amid the pandemic, there is still a possibility that the inflation rate will surge up by year 2025 due to unexpected events. Next is information technology system. Assumption, reliance on information technology system. The significance is that we rely on information technology to operate our business and maintain our competitiveness. Any failure to invest or adapt to technological developments or industry trends could harm our business. We also have general economy. The assumption is that the Philippines has one of the slowest and most expensive internet connections. The significance is that coupled with high mobile phone and social media usage, this means that online sellers must pay attention to the mobile optimization, particularly when it comes to the sizes of their product images. Potential liability. Our assumption is that the business must anticipate possible liabilities arising from the operations of the business. The business might be responsible to the actions done by the seller to the buyer or vice versa, because the business serves as a middleman to both customer and the seller. Next is privacy laws. Our assumption is that the business is subject to a number of privacy and data protection laws and regulations. Failure to maintain the integrity of internal or customer data could result in damage to our reputation, loss of sales, and are subject as to litigation, penalties, or significant costs. We also have labor laws. Our assumptions is that there can be changes in the labor and employment law in the Philippines. Its significance is that higher labor costs and increased competition for qualified team members increases the cost of ensuring adequate staffing. Social media. The assumption is the rising popularity of social media. Its significance is that our inability or failure to recognize, respond to, and effectively manage the accelerated impact of the social media could adversely affect or impact our business. As to the payment methods, the assumption is that cash-based payment methods still dominates. It is significant because continued dominance of cash-based transactions is one of the reasons behind the relatively slow uptake of the e-commerce in the country. Competition. The assumption is that there is an intense competition in the industry. With a significant level of competition and the pace of innovation, we may be required to increase investment spending in several areas, particularly in marketing and technology, which can decrease the business profitability. Lastly, we have the customer's perceptions. The assumption is that the challenge for the sellers is to gain the trust of the buyers. If the buyer does not trust the seller, there is a possibility of lower sales and might incur additional expenses. Now, in setting up a business, the last thing on our mind is to shut it down. However, life gets in the way of the best laid plans. That is why before developing or starting the business, we must also have an exit plan in place. For campus, we have two exit strategies. First one is to sell the interest of the partner who would like to withdraw from the partnership to an old partner, a new partner, or the partnership itself. This must be done if the said partner cannot perform his or her duties and responsibilities due to unexpected circumstances. Another exit strategy would be the liquidation of assets of the business. Liquidation means the end of the company operations and the sale of the assets. The company shuts down and the assets are distributed to those to whom the company or the partners owe money. However, if the partners close the business, they will lose the brand, credibility, and its customers. And that concludes our business plan presentation. In Campus, we help build the future. Thank you.